In unit number 3, we are dealing with the conservation of atoms and mass. In 1789, Antoine Lavoisier he discovered that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. The mass of an element at the beginning of a reaction is equal to the mass of that element at the end of the reaction. So this is law of conservation of mass. So the law of conservation of mass states that the total mass of the substance in a closed system remains constant. The mass of the product formed by a chemical reaction equals the mass of the reactant that react. So in a closed system, when a reaction takes place, in a closed system, when the reaction takes place, the mass of the element in the beginning of the reaction is equal to the mass of that element at the end of the reaction. So there will be no change in the mass. So that means mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. That is the law of conservation of mass. By using some numericals, we can understand this law. Verify the law of conservation of mass in a reaction between lead nitrate and sodium iodide solution. Lead nitrate PbNO3 twice plus 2NaI, that is lead sodium iodide, giving PbI2 plus NaNO3. So lead nitrate is reacting with the sodium iodide, and this is a balanced equation. In the balanced equation, the mass of PbNO3 twice is 331.2. By using the periodic table, you can calculate the molar mass. The molar mass of lead plus 2 nitrogen mass plus 6 oxygen mass gives 331.2. Then 2 NaI. There are 2 sodium and 2 iodine. So the mass of NaI is 149.9 times 2. So this molar mass we are calculating from the periodic table. Gives PbI2. Its molar mass is 461.0 plus 2 NaNO3. It is 2 multiplied by 85. Then on both sides the mass remains same, that is 361. The total mass of the reactant is 361 and total mass of the product is 361. It is 631 and 631. The total mass of the reactant is 631 and total mass of the product is 631. That means in a chemical reaction, in a closed system, in a closed system of a chemical reaction, the mass of the reactants, the sum of the mass of the reactants and the sum of the mass of the product, they are same. That means the mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So during a chemical reaction, we are not creating any mass, okay, new mass. So the mass of the reactants must be equal to the mass of the product. Here these are the reactants and these are the product. So the total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the product, which proves the law of conservation of mass. Another problem, use the law of conservation of mass to determine how much copper oxide is formed when 50 gram of copper metal reacts with excess oxygen gas. So first we are writing the balanced equation. Copper is reacting with oxygen gas. Both are, copper is in solid state, oxygen is in gaseous state. Then copper oxide, it is in the solid state. So this is the balanced equation. 2Cu plus O2 giving 2CuO. From the periodic table you can find out the mass, 2 times the mass of the copper, that is 63.5 plus 2 oxygen, that is 16 plus 16, giving 2 times copper mass is 63.5 plus oxygen mass is 16. So here the total mass is 127 plus 32 giving 159. Then by the mole ratio, 127 gram of copper, 127 gram of copper is to 159 gram of copper oxide. We are using, when 50 gram of copper metal reacts, we are using 50 gram of copper metal. Here 127 gram of copper is to 159 gram of copper oxide. So if you use 127 gram of copper, you will get 159 gram of copper oxide from the balanced equation. Then we are having now 50 gram of copper. Then how much gram of copper oxide you will get? So from the balanced equation, you can take the ratio of these things. Then mass of the copper oxide formed equal to 159 multiplied by 50 divided by 127, giving 62.6 gram. This much gram of copper oxide is formed. So this is calculated by the conservation of mass. So conservation of mass says what? Conservation of mass says in a chemical reaction, mass can neither be created nor be destroyed.